Good evening and welcome to the June 29th Board of Selectmen meeting. If everybody would rise for the pledge, please. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any announcements this evening?
I'd like to make one here. I would really like to give credit, and I know that there's a gentleman here that is representing the library tonight, but the pig roast that they had this weekend, I thought was just fabulous. It was well organized. I think it was a nice community event, and when you look over there, it doesn't even look as though anybody's even been in that field. I mean, it was policed exceptionally well, it was orderly, and I think that John did a heck of a job with that roast pig too, because it was good.
I did a good job eating pork. Most everybody else did the work.
Well, I saw you over there in your apron monitoring all those barbecues, and it was a job well done. And if you didn't get a chance to go, my understanding is, and maybe I'll be corrected later, but they're going to have try to have something else this summer and maybe make this thing an annual event. So if you miss this one, I would strongly suggest that you go to the next one, because there was a lot more going on there than good food and good friendship. There was, they had some model aircraft and some hot rods and a live band and a lot of stuff for the kids, and I just thought it was a great day in Waterboro.
Another thing I'd say too, Gordon, is it was pretty inexpensive. A family could come with 3 or 4 kids under 12, and $16 could feed the family. So it was $8 a ticket. And that's corn and potato salad and pork loin and hot dogs and watermelon and lemonade and all sorts of stuff. So it was a pretty good deal for $8, and especially if you have young children that have a load of fun, and you can bring them there free.
Yeah. I know my wife and sister-in-law were particularly happy because they had a chance to run into Dr. Taylor, and they hadn't seen him for quite a while, but they knew him because they were both born here in Waterboro, so and grew up here, so they knew him pretty well in those younger days, and they were really thrilled to have a chance to talk with him again.
Thank you. It was a great day.
It was.
I bet we're going to get a little bit more information about that later, aren't we?
Not a lot. A lot of other things on my mind, but yes, I will make a few comments on that.
All right, great. Correspondence for this week, we didn't have any.
Did we have hearing of delegations?
Nope, let's do that. Here.
I'm gonna do that.
Oh.
You haven't figured out which side of the table you belong on.
I know. The Transfer Station Recycling Committee met last night, and I'm taking this opportunity to report their request. Mixed demolition disposal is costing the town more money than what they're charging for it, and because of the handling and disposal. Committee recommends charging $40 per yard for mixed demolition. The committee also recommends that no large loads, which has been a problem, or mixed demo, or any other large loads of materials that requires hand labor and extra time to unload, not be allowed after 4:30 on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday. Tenants are finding that after the fact, they're finding materials that are hidden underneath other demo material that should not have been discarded with demo was not paid for. Committee also recommends that closing the gate 10 minutes early before normal closing time to allow employees to finish up daily details without working after 5 or 7 p.m. Gasoline and 5 gallons of oil were dumped in a demolition bin last week, and could have been a devastating situation if ignited. Because of the above problems with demolition, committee strongly recommends that one employee monitor the unloading of these materials and to catch what is in there, what shouldn't be in there, and who is violating use of the transfer station. Let's see. Committee also urges the board to start the process of getting the new recycling compactor online. D&E is willing to haul D&E's recycling under Waterboro's, to give Waterboro's credit, into Eco-Maine until September 1st or before if the compactor is up. After that, he'll have to dump it somewhere at the transfer station and have to be reloaded into the compactor. So it'd behoove us to get that done. I think that's all that I need to report on, but the $40 increase needs to be on the agenda for next week if it could. And closing times. Any questions?
Wonder if it's time, every year we tend to go over that fee structure, so maybe next week is a good time to look at all of the fees and make sure that everything is appropriate.
Yeah, that was the one where we definitely need to do something with. I think there's 1 or 2 others, but they're not major. Okay.
Now, where you've talked to David in the past, a little concerned sometime of the board being a little slow to act on this, you're here to expedite this.
That's correct.
Make sure it doesn't get by.
That's right. You got that, John.
Anything else? Okay. Reports, town administrators report.
Well, the only thing I got to report is we're putting the finishing touches on the end of the fiscal year. All of the expenses are in, the revenues, I just had a couple of questions, and as soon as I hear back from the auditor, they will be put in tomorrow so that July 1st, we can push the button and they'll be there.
Okay. Thanks, Nancy. Selectmen's reports? Anything? Okay. I have one thing to report on. Over the past several months, the board has discussed ways that we could increase participation on some of our town committees, different ways of advertising openings that we had, and one of the suggestions was that we do a commercial or PSA type of spot, and it seemed to be positively looked upon by the board, but it's something that we never ended up doing. So last week I talked to Dave Lowe, and Dave and I actually kind of took the initiative, and we got together, we did a script, and we started working on doing a spot. We've got the recording done. We just need to get a few, some still photos in there, some videos in there, and the goal is to have this done and presented to the board for our July 13th meeting. The one that we worked on for the initial PSA is just a general, we're looking for, here's the importance of being on town committees, here's the importance to the town, and we have some openings, and here's how you get some more information. So we'll be looking to have that in mid-July. Reports, committee report, EMA Director.
I think I gave you all each a copy, but briefly, good evening. Dennis, back in April, had said to me, gee, sort of keep track of what you're doing. So for what I've given you is a list of what I've actually been doing. And we'll start April 23rd. I attended the IAEM Region 1 conference down in Sturbridge, Mass. And of course, that was one of those you have to drive down, spend all day, and drive home. On April 24th, I attended a tabletop exercise in Cornish based on a wildfire like we had in 1947. And what we found out, if anything happens north of us or northwest of us, then they're going to come this way to be sheltered. So that was just a good thing to have a place and plan already with the Sheriff's Department. And again, on the 27th, I attended the Selectmen's meeting. On April 29th and the 30th, I went to the Maine Prepares Conference up in Augusta. I was part of the conference committee, and I was also a speaker. Every Sunday, I do what is called the town ride-around. And what I do is I just drive around town and just see what's going on, see if there's any new streets I don't know about, or if there's anything that looks bad, or check the road. So I just sort of do a visual inspection every Sunday morning before church. On May 4th, I did the Selectmen's meeting. On May 11th, I spoke to the York County Lady Realtors Association about local emergency management. They, of course, with all the claims that they had had from the storms in February, they really wanted to have a little bit of information. So it was a good question and answer session. Again, on May 12th, I attended the Road Review Committee meeting. Then I did my rides around town, selectmen's meetings. On June 3rd, I attended the risk management plan review for the RSU 57, and it was just a good chance to sit and talk with the superintendent and with some of the teachers that are involved in the plan. At that point, I also discussed with them the STEP program. STEP stands for Student Tools for Emergency Planning. It is something that FEMA is heavily involved with. It's a free program. I will be going to take a class this summer where I can come back and teach the 5th grade teachers how to do a 1-hour class with their students at there'll be no additional charge to the school system, but each 5th grade student will get a little bag, some water, a survival blanket, a flashlight, some batteries, and it just talks about preparedness. It's been proven if you can talk to the kids, they can bring it home to their parents. So if we start in 5th grade, and that's the class that we're doing this year. And it's roughly, because it's the whole school system, won't be just Waterboro, but there'll be about 400 students, and that should be done in September. So that's a good thing, especially since FEMA's paying. On June 6th and 7th, I went to Chicago for the National Preparedness Task Force meeting. Again, normally I wouldn't put that in, but it was 30 hours, but I did it because I am on that committee as a local emergency manager, so again, it benefits the town. But it's paid for by somebody else, which is a good thing. And then I did another town ride-around, selectmen's meeting. I went and checked after the severe windstorm. We're very fortunate that we didn't have as much damage as some other local areas did, especially poor York. And then I've taken, an independent study class, and now we're gearing up for Old Home Days. When last year I brought the command van over, and 180 people went through it, but I believe I gave out 400 emergency preparedness flyers and all kinds of coloring books to the kids. So the more I can give away, the better off it is, so if people can be prepared. Now, the next thing, that's the report, if there's any questions on the report. Because emergency management deals a lot with planning, and it deals with comprehensive risk management planning and emergency operations planning, Tom and I have been talking quite a bit, and I think I would like to see if he could be brought on board also as a deputy director, along with Matt as the fire chief. I think, and again, it wouldn't involve a lot of his time, but I think with the planning aspect of it, it would be nice to know that he could come maybe to some of my meetings. He could come now, but I think if we could just, again, I don't want to give him more work and burden, but I think the timing is great, where there might be some things he might have more knowledge of than I do, and I might be able to get him to a couple of meetings that I normally, as a deputy director, he would be able to go to, where now I couldn't justify bringing him along. Sorry. So if it's just something I'd like the selectmen to think about, that way there would be two. If I shouldn't be around, then I know between Matt and Tom, they'll cover the town just as well as I do. And that's about it. We're just working, like I said, on Old Home Days. Questions? And CERT. If anybody wants to join a CERT team, we'll be doing one more class in August. CERT, Community Emergency Response Teams. Again, we're looking for volunteers, people that can help when there's a disaster, whether it be answering the phone, whether it be feeding people, whether it be having a temporary shelter. And I'm not looking at Frank over there, who did it for many years as the Red Cross. But we're always looking now for people that can do it within the town, because we know we can't always rely on the Red Cross now, where they're more into regionalization and want us always to go to Saco to a shelter, and we all know that doesn't work. It's just not going to work. Even if you have a bus, I mean, if it's an ice storm, why do you want to put a bus on the road in treacherous roads? It just doesn't make sense. So I'm looking for people that could do that right here in town.
The Lakeside Community Church, they had some members that were going to, there's a church at
Sorry,
piece of
they
that.
haven't done it yet, so I'm hoping when I have the next class, I'll go up and, hand invite them and say, geez, we'd really love to have you come. I know I have Bridget that's on the CERT team. And again, it's one of those things, if you don't need them, it's sort of stagnant. And like I'm bringing some people over to Old Home Days, just so they can see what it's like and make them feel like they're a part of doing something. But, we're very fortunate we don't have a lot of disasters. And again, on July 29th, for the citizens, there will be a mitigation workshop that's going to be held at the fire station from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. We're always looking for the public's input on what they think would be a good mitigation plan. Mitigation means trying to fix something that on a road. So we do know we have a couple spots in town that need to be fixed. So hopefully, if we can get them on to the town's mitigation plan, they can go to the county mitigation plan, that the state will actually have a copy of what we think is necessary in this town. It just looks better when FEMA comes in if we say, hey, this is on our plan to fix. We just can't afford to fix it right now. But if we had some money, yes, we could.
It's at 6?
It's 6 to 9, yes, at the fire station. Any questions? If not, thank you.
Thank you, Pam.
You're welcome.
Tom?
Madam Chair, is it possible to do a quick report on the status of a grant?
Is
It's
it
not on the
for
agenda.
the Safe Routes to School?
No. Efficiency rate. It's a good
Yep.
report.
Yeah, go ahead.
Acceptable to the board and the town administration. John, you're looking for my fishing report.
Just get on with it before we say no, right?
Well, first of all, Selectman David, welcome to the board. Good to see you up there. I'll keep this very short. I'll attempt to keep it short.
That's more like it. We have a meeting, and we have an appointment in 10 minutes, and we'll still have other things.
The sum and short of it is that last week we, under the direction of the board and the town administrator, filed an application with the Efficiency Maine Trust. And I thank you for encouraging me to put that application together. It was on a fast-track review. There was only slightly over $1 million that was available for the whole state, and there were over $3.5 million worth of requests from municipalities. Our competition here in York County was, I think, 4 or 5 communities, and only 2 have been funded in York County. And I'm happy to report tonight that the town of Waterboro is one of those 2. And so it really pleases me to see that we can indeed be competitive. It is so challenging now. And Nancy, I have to apologize to you publicly. I just found this out. Nancy and I were talking about this around 5 o'clock, and I found out about 20 minutes ago, vis-a-vis a voicemail. So I hope I'm not speaking prematurely, because I always believe in having things in writing. And we have nothing in writing yet from the state, but this is from the grants coordinator, so I feel confident that I can report this to you, because part of the excitement deals with how I packaged it for the town, we were looking for monies for energy audit to couple the monies that you have appropriated, so we could marry those together. And this way it'll allow us to do a more comprehensive energy audit, not just of, say, the town hall or the fire station, but of all of your municipal facilities. So that's pretty exciting that we can do that, because it gives us a more comprehensive look at it. In addition to that, I decided to package it in such a way, because we have $0 for our comprehensive plan committee to work with, that I truly want this new comprehensive plan for the community to have full community ownership. And in addition to that, I want it to have components that no other comprehensive plans in the state have. And so I'm happy to report, if this indeed is true, and we get it officially in writing, that I've also received some monies for the town to do a special chapter in the comprehensive plan, subject to the planning committees, the 2020 planning committees, acceptance of that notion that we should have a whole chapter just on energy planning. Why I'm particularly excited about this is that I know of no other comprehensive plan in the last 40 years of writing comprehensive plans that has ever taken on a local municipal basis and looked at energy efficiency and roll that into their comprehensive plan. So assuming the acceptance by the town administrator, the Board of Selectmen, and the 2020 Planning Committee, we'll move ahead and we'll have some monies. The exciting thing about it is it allows me to work with academia in this case in order to get the best use of our dollar. And it's my intent, and I have not approached these institutions yet because it would have been premature without knowing that we had received support grant monies. I'll be approaching what I think we all would consider the 3 state-of-the-art universities that have the best energy academicians, and that would be UMaine, UNH, and MIT. And those are the 3 schools that I would see as, in addition to any others that the board and the town administrator would suggest. I'm hoping with the although these funds are small, they give us the latitude to do something that I never thought we'd be able to do without those type of resource monies. And to dovetail it, because I'll just take this opportunity, I realize my 10 minutes is almost up, is that to do a comprehensive plan that is like no other, I don't mean like no other in the town, but like no other in the state, it takes resources. And it'll take all of us collectively being very clever about how we are able to seek out those resources. So just wanted to share that with you. And this now allows me to be able to share it with 2020 next week at our second meeting. I'll tell you more as I know more, but you'll probably be seeing very little of me in the next 3 weeks because Energy Maine Trust is now going to require much more details to be packaged to that. And I believe the delivery date is 21 days and counting. So, and that's a contingency of the grant.
Could you just do up a letter for us for next week on the specifics of the grant as you get the details, recognizing you're going to be busy and probably not able to come into the meetings, just to kind of bring us up to date on the grant?
What I'll try to
and whatnot?
do is a synopsis. What Tammy Jo is referring to is the 2020 Comprehensive Planning Committee meeting is the same night as your board meeting night. So I'll do a one-page summation with everything that I know, and I'll try to extract some more information from the PUC as to the details of what our requirements are. I think basically they want me to scope out the projects, to give more detail, so that there's basically a scope of services from the community to the PUC/Maine Efficiency Trust. So thank you for allowing me to share that. But when we have good news, it's hard to hold back.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to new business committee appointments. In our packets this week, we had some new committee appointment applications. I think they were all renewals. So I would
Do you
entertain a
want to
motion.
take these up now, or do you want to look at the attendance?
The appointments first.
Okay.
Committee attendance is next under old business.
Well, I think what he's getting at is to see whether or not any of those people that have applications in also have good attendance records. If they don't, then maybe we would.
We do not have a committee report from Old Home Days as far as attendance. The one for the ZBA has missed one of the 2 meetings that they've had.
That's-
Yeah,
On my
ZBA
list, it
has-
says there's missed 2.
Yeah, that's what I have too.
It's all one date. The site walk
Ah,
and the meeting are all.
21, 18, 18, oh, 18, 18.
Yep.
All right.
So is there a motion?
I'll move that we accept, that we appoint Jill and Todd Smith to the Old Home Days Committee.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? And the third application?
I'll move that we appoint Sean Shoemaker to the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Okay. Next, we have committee attendance. And we have in our packets a listing for a number of committees and what their attendance record has been. Pam was going to send a letter to those who are not in compliance. Do we want to take any action at this point, or do we want to wait and see if we're going to have any response to those letters?
Has she already sent the letter, or is it, because, you know, what I'd like to see is that you have not been in a compliance on this and subject to being dismissed from the committee. Please get in touch with us and as to whether, if you wish to continue, and if so, that you will attend meetings regularly, something like that. And if people get in touch with us in a timely manner and say, yes, I want to continue on this, we'll keep them on, and it's basically a probationary period in a sense. You know, you're looking a year later or 6 months later and see if their attendance is better. And if we don't hear from them in a timely manner, we let them go.
There is a draft letter that was in our packet. Nancy, do you know if she actually sent that out?
I assume she did, because it was on
I
the record
know
from last week.
people received the letter, yes.
So the letter did already go out.
Okay. I'm just wondering how we can get in touch with these people and just say that we really need to be in touch with you. You need to be in touch with us, rather. You need to get in touch with us in the next month to let us know that you're still interested in being on this committee, and we'll attend in a regular fashion. If not, then we need to follow through with this. So, I mean, we could take that for granted that they'll start doing that, but we need to act on it if they're not going to.
The letter has already gone out. The draft of the letter that went out was in our packet, so maybe what we need to do is flag this for, say, 60 days from now, and check the compliance after 60 days.
And maybe follow it up, anybody that has missed a meeting that the letter went out to.
I hate to wait 60 days.
I'm glad it's not a heart monitor or something.
I hate to wait 60 days, in particular on the planning board.
They have, where are we, June? Are you having 2 July meetings?
One of the
And then in August? So we're looking at potentially only 1 to 2 meetings for at least the planning board.
Well, I don't know, you say the letter's in the packet here, I haven't found it yet, but I don't know what the letter said. I do not like the idea of waiting 60 days and then taking another 60 days to do something about it, and
Well, there's one thing we can do. If we don't send out a second letter, then the next thing is we can say, we'll go the 60 days and September 1st, after we have a meeting, and if people have not increased their attendance, then at that meeting, we start changing people. So we can, at least we have an end point where we know we've acted on it, and we could say that could be the first meeting in September. But it would be good, I think it'd still be good to have a second letter out on that, saying that the selectmen, unless you get in touch with us and tell us, and actually start attending meetings, then we are going to act on this in the first meeting in September. I would recommend we do that.
Is that a motion?
Yeah, it's a motion.
Would you repeat that one more time?
Okay.
No, just kidding, Joe.
I said it about 3 times already.
So, David, would you be agreeable to,
waiting until September? No.
Gordon, what's your thoughts?
I'm inclined to go with Selectman Woodson on this. This has dragged on now for, one of our goals from last year was to get increased committee participation, and I just think that we're dragging this out. I think, we should cut our losses right now and get some new people on board that want to participate and attend the meetings.
David?
Well, I agree. These people, the letter doesn't give them a deadline. It just says, we'd like to hear from you in the next 20 years. I would say 2 weeks. If we haven't heard anything from 2 weeks, then we send a letter saying you're no longer on the committee.
How about if we have Pam follow up with a phone call with the members that we flag as having participation at less than 50% or less, that we want a commitment from them within the next 2 weeks?
I think, I don't care if we do this faster. Matter of fact, I'd like to do it faster, but I think we need to get in touch with them and let them know. And I think that's and I would certainly go along with that. And I think if she calls people in the next week, and say if we don't hear from them within a week after that, then we're going to cut them off. We're going to put them off the committee.
Was there any deadline in the letter that you
No.
sent?
No, just that they are not meeting the attendance.
75%.
I gave them a heads up. Now they're thinking about it. Now if you get a call and say, we need to, do we have a commitment from you? If not, then...
Are you amending your motion? Are you
It's your
amending your
idea,
motion?
Gordon, you make it.
No, are you amending your motion?
Well, nobody seconded, so it died first.
Oh, okay, died for lack of a second. I'll put it in the form of a motion.
Yeah,
then that,
because you had the basic idea and the timeline on it.
That we do the telephone follow-up. We make a decision at the end of a 2-week period, and cut our losses and going to go from there.
And we base this on the 75% attendance rate, not 50 that you had mentioned.
I had said 50.
Yeah, but it's, the guideline is 75. So I'd like to see 75.
I'll include that in my motion, that the 75% is the threshold. Those that have an attendance record below that are the ones to be notified, and the ones that would be thanked for their past service, but their future service would be no longer considered if they can't make a more appropriate effort to contribute.
Is there a second to that?
I second it.
All those in favor? Okay. Hemlock and Oak Ditching. I think first we wanted to set up a workshop with the road review committee, the road commissioner, and the board of selectmen to discuss what we might have for plans out there. Probably should do that within maybe the next couple of weeks. What I've done this week, I have talked to Pam and Patty, and we had files in both the selectman's office and in the CEO's office. So we've taken those files, we've put them together into one file, so now we have everything that's together, including all the photos from 2007 forward. Pam was going to contact RSU 57, get a copy of the attendance sheet, the meeting minutes from the meeting that we had with the RSU 57, along with the meeting minutes from when the superintendent presented to the school board. I don't know if she's heard back from them on that or not, but she was going to make that phone call last week. Joe Wagner was kind enough to contact Steve Levy last week, give him a heads up that we're going to be looking at setting up a forum between the water district and the residents. And I spoke to Dave Benton, and we have July 19th is a water district meeting. So we're going to do it that evening at 7 p.m. Dave was going to follow up with Steve to make sure that he could be there. Joe is going to attend, and Pam and I will work this week on getting a letter together to the residents in that neighborhood, just letting them know what our results were with the RSU 57 meeting, and that we're going to have a forum with the water district for those that are interested. Making sure to let them know that the board is not one way or the other saying that they should not go to public water. That needs to be their decision to make, but at least opening that line of communication between the water district and the residents. So we'll get that taken care of, and we'll invite RSU 57 as well, because they may be interested. If the residents are going to start looking at going to public water, it may be an opportunity to bring public water to the elementary school if the school district is interested in doing that. Fred is...
In line with your thoughts, I'd also like to invite Doug Foglio. As many would remember, he had submitted, I guess, or at least presented to the board and RSU 57 what he thought might be a reasonable solution to the problem, and I would like to have his voice along with the road commissioner, who would actually be performing the work to, be in agreement on that plan. Does that sound good with you?
Let me ask you something. That culvert that crosses the outfield, which goes down through the state put in,
Yep.
if this can be drained, we ought to find out if that culvert could be enlarged to take a lot of water and get that ditch opened up down through it.
Joe, I believe, has already had some contact with DOT about it.
Because that may be one solution to get rid of a lot of that water.
Yeah. All right.
There's two issues here. One is the flooding issue, and the other one is water quality issue. Is the meeting on the, is it the 19th or 17th?
The 19th is going to be the meeting between the residents and the water district.
That's a water quality issue?
Yes.
Okay.
And
And
then
that,
we
and that,
need-
you're not going to get that mixed up with ditching and
No,
this? Okay.
and that
good.
needs to be a separate meeting between the board, the road review committee, the road commissioner. We'll invite Doug in and deal with that. So is there a time, when's the next road review committee meeting is July 14th? Do we want to do it in conjunction with the road review committee's meeting? Is that agreeable?
Second Wednesday of the month, right?
Yep.
And that's the one where you'd have Doug Foglio and have...
Yeah. Would that be agreeable, workable? David?
Yes.
That's the 14th.
Yep, Gordon?
Yep.
Okay. I'll let the road review committee know. Anything else on that? Discuss vote on the Safe Routes to School letter. Everybody got a copy of the letter earlier this week. We have a copy of it in the packet over here. The grant is due tomorrow, so if we sign the letter, it will make its way up to Augusta tomorrow with Tom. Joe Wagner submitted a letter, so if you want to take one, pass it down. So I just need to know if we're in agreement on signing the letter. It's Here's our letter, if anybody hasn't seen it yet. And our letter would just be explaining why we support the project.
Great.
So if it's agreeable, I'd entertain a motion to sign the letter.
I'm wondering if you wouldn't like to let everyone out there watching, read this into the minutes of the record,
Autumn?
so they can hear that.
The letter is addressed to Commissioner Cole. The Waterboro Board of Selectmen are pleased to support the town's grant application for the Safe Routes to School project and is optimistic that the Maine Department of Transportation will see what an excellent project community Waterboro would be for this exciting program. The Old Alfred Road area located in East Waterboro is a location ripe with opportunity to meet the goals of the Safe Routes program hopes to accomplish. Old Alfred Road is a high-traffic throughway used as a cutoff between Route 5 and 202, with two housing developments flanking each side. There is a town-owned park, soccer fields, baseball fields, basketball courts, as well as two local recreational sporting clubs, one of which also offers hall rentals for a variety of events, including Girl Scouts meeting, children's birthday parties, and other celebrations, making the area heavy with foot traffic as well as vehicular traffic. On the north end of Old Alfred Road is the main office of the local fire station, as well as a Veterans Park and the Taylor House Museum. Across the Route 5 intersection is the Townhouse Road, where the Waterboro Town Hall, another museum, and a popular ice cream shop are located. Traveling west on Route 5 is a very popular local variety store, as well as public access to Little Ospey Lake, including a marked and maintained swim area. Traveling in an easterly direction is access to the future Waterboro Public Library and Community Center. Along with the many town destinations located along Old Alfred Road, Route 5 and Townhouse Road is the M.R.S.A Middle School and Waterboro Elementary School. The M.R.S.A Middle School serves 6 local communities and is part of RSU 57, one of the largest school districts within the state of Maine. The middle school boasts a beautiful facility, including several sports fields and public use of gymnasium facilities, with many sporting events being held at this prime location. The elementary school also features a large playground area and has a number of events at the school, including the very popular family movie night. While this area offers a very diverse and wide array of locations and functions geared to healthy play as well as community education and involvement, there are limited sidewalks or walking paths allowing for safe passage from one area to the other. With the heavy traffic that flows through the area daily, sidewalks and biking paths will greatly improve and encourage increased bicycle and pedestrian safety while creating improved public safety. Safe routes for bicycling and walking would allow more children and their families to travel to the schools, ball fields, and parks without use of a vehicle, decreasing traffic congestion and parking issues, as well as encouraging a more healthy and active lifestyle. Accessibility to the area would be enhanced and encourage more residents to explore this village district, thereby increasing community involvement. The Waterboro Board of Selectmen have been very supportive in the preparation of this grant application by encouraging and assisting the Waterboro Road Review Committee as they explored and planned out the most optimal location for sidewalks and biking paths, as well as committing funds to hiring an engineer firm to assist in sidewalk placement and in cost estimates for the grant application. Members of the board have also spoken publicly to residents about the benefits of such a project and have engaged the local business community as well as local sports groups in discussions about the project, garnering their support and enthusiasm as well. The Waterboro Selectmen recognize that a successful grant application could forever change the face of this village district and can be the model for future projects in and around our community. The goals of the Safe Routes project can be met in this neighborhood. We enthusiastically support this grant application and hope that the Maine Department of Transportation will recognize that Waterboro is committed to ensuring the success of a Safe Routes project within our community and consider awarding this grant to our town. And it's CC to Dan Stewart and Joe Wagner.
I see what,
Very well done.
So now do we have a motion to sign the letter?
I make a motion that we sign the letter and forward it to Commissioner Cole for the benefit of this grant application.
second.
All those in favor? Opposed? All right. Pass that, and Tom's waiting for that. Next, we have warrants for bills and payroll. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All those in favor? Discuss and vote to sign the minutes of 6:22.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Okay. Pending decisions, we have staff training and the training policy. The week's action list. Okay. And we will move into our 6:30 workshop with the Friends of the Waterboro Public Library, and apologize for running late this evening.